These groups of people today, who are today called American blacks, West Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, Guatemala to Panama, Argentina, all these groups, and when you go down here, groups of people, descend and have one thing in common. The sub-Saharan, the trans-Saharan slave trade, the diaspora. God says, if these people don't listen and do my commandments, cursed shall thou be in the city,
and cursed shall thou be in the field.
That's in every city and in every field that these people in. God said, he will smite the children of Israel with blindness and astonishment of heart, madness and blindness, meaning like mental issues. When the children of Israel will be hungry, they would have to serve their enemies, meaning food, resources for food. To get that thing, they wouldn't be able to get it from their own people or from God's blessings. They'd have to go to their enemies to get that thing. Your name again, bro? Chauncey. Okay, so Chauncey, we've been over there talking for a minute, Chauncey. Here's what we're teaching, okay? Give me the book of Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. First of all, to understand the Bible, you got to understand the audience. Every book has an audience, correct? Has a target audience and an audience. So let's read, and we're going to understand from the beginning of this book all the way here is God dealing with a specific group of people. And we're going to go and get into it. Read, 1 and 1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran, Tophel, Laban, and Hazeroth, and Dezahel.
So, the words that Moses spake was unto all Israel. Look, if you look at this sign over here, Chauncey, look. These groups of people today, who are today called American blacks, West Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, Guatemala to Panama, Argentina, all these groups, and when you go down here, groups of people, descend and have one thing in common. The sub-Saharan, the trans-Saharan slave trade, the diaspora, right? These things are spoken about in the Holy Scriptures, in prophecy. So you understand what prophecy means. Can you explain to me what prophecy means? I want to make sure I'm asking you this so we can have continue that dialogue we was having.
Prophecy is like the foreword, something that's going to come to be.
Something, exactly. I like that answer. That's a great answer. That's something that's going to come to be. So now, what we dealing with prophecy, we dealing with supernatural then, right? That means something that somebody spoke to, and is going to come to pass, right? And it comes to pass by means that a regular human being can't make it happen, right? So we're talking about God. God would have the foreknowledge of the forewords to say, speak this into existence and it come to pass. All right, Deuteronomy 29 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
29:1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
So here's God speaking to Moses saying, make a covenant with the children of Israel. So I'm going to ask you another question. Covenant. Do you understand the significance of a covenant? A covenant, it's kind of like a promise, but it's more than that. To make a covenant is, in layman's term, a contract or an agreement. Okay? It's a contract. Just like if you sign a contract and you play sports. I see you played sports before. So say you went pro, you're going to sign a contract with the team. You're making a covenant with this team that you're going to fulfill the years of this contract. I'm going to play so many years and you're going to pay me so much, right? So now, if you decide to retire early or quit the team, there's terms and conditions to this contract. Are you going to receive that payment if you quit that team? All right, if you break the team rules in some kind of way and bring shame on the team, are you going to receive the money from the country? So you're probably going to get the penalties of that thing, right? Read Deuteronomy 29:1 again. I'm going to reverse this again. So I'm making sure you follow me the whole way, all right? The reason why I'm going here is because we got to understand the terms of the contract that God made with the children of Israel to understand who these people are today. Because God makes a contract, he don't change. He does something, it lasts. You understand? He don't change his mind. Read it.
Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
So now, we got to go into the terms and the conditions of the contract that God is telling the children of Israel. Give me Malachi 3 and 6. and then go to Deuteronomy 28. So now, we're going to go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, the 28th chapter, to understand the terms and the conditions of the contract. Now, God made this contract with the children of Israel, and he told them, you're going to do certain things, I'm going to give you certain benefits. But if you break these things that I'm giving you, putting in place, there's what? There's drawbacks and penalties to it. Absolutely. Read.
The book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. I am the Lord, I change not.
So God makes a deal. He don't change on it. People change. People go off and do different things, but God does not. He's the authority and he's the power. He don't change. We might, but he don't. So now, go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. So we're going into the terms and the conditions of the contract, of this covenant, all right? That God made through Moses. Said, Moses, tell the children of Israel this, all right? And he's speaking to this group of people, that audience, same audience. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So you see that promise there? Keep reading. That if they were to do what? The commandments, listen diligently and hearken, they would be set on high above all nations of the earth. Read on.
And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, and the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket in thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. And the Lord shall cause thine enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways.
So now, God is promising all these different, a myriad of blessings on his people if they listen and hearken unto the commandments which he gives to them through the hand of Moses. Now, here's the flip side of that contract, verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
But it shall come to pass. So this is a prophecy being spoken, right? This is going to happen.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come.
All these what?
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Verse 45. So now, curses to come upon a people for not listening to God's commandments, right? He said curses. So we're gonna go into these things and go into these curses. We have to do this because we're reading our contract. We're reading the contract that God made with a certain group of people. There's the terms and conditions. Now you'll be able to look out into the world and say, what group of people is dealing with these things right now? Because everything that God says is going to come to pass. He said it shall happen.
Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Why?
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
So all the curses would happen because they didn't listen and keep the commandments, right? Read on.
And they shall be...
What verse are we reading?
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
What shall be upon the children of Israel for a sign? So I'm making sure you follow. The what? Absolutely. All right, read.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So a sign is what type of apparatus? I would say. Well, a sign does what? It informs you and lets you know what? Just like the street sign. We on what street? All right, what's the name of their store? All right, we know those things because the sign is giving us that information. So the curses are going to be on the children of Israel for a sign. It's going to do the same type of thing. For a sign, what?
And for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
For a great wonder. So let's go into some of these curses that'll be for signs for the children of Israel. Verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city.
Now, God says, if these people don't listen and do my commandments, cursed shall thou be in the city.
And cursed shall thou be in the field.
That's in every city and in every field that these people inhabit. So, you can start looking around in a certain people groups and say, what kind of cities do they inhabit?
Right.
Are they in blessed places or are they in cursed places? In the fields, what type of fields are these people inhabiting?
Right.
Those people right there, all the people of the diaspora, the slave trade, what type of fields are they inhabiting? Are these blessings or are these curses? Because do they own the fields that they work in and they're doing the agriculture and the sharecropping and stuff in? Or is somebody else reaping the benefits of it?
They're just there working.
Right.
Working for somebody.
Working for somebody. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? All right, absolutely. It's a curse. I would say it's a curse. Read.
Right.
Verse 17, cursed shall be thy basket in thy store.
So now, these people, a basket is an apparatus you put things in to store things in, right? Today, we call that a pantry, a storehouse. So-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and those people of the slave trade that experienced that in their history, do they have storehouses in abundance with resources in there packed and stuff like that? No. Read it again.
Verse 17, cursed shall be thy basket in thy store.
Verse 28.
Verse 28, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
How you doing, brother? Hey, brother, young brother over here. What's going on? How you doing, man? Come on over here, man. Y'all come up and listen too, all right? All right, so we're going into the covenant that God made with the children of Israel. And we're going through and reading these certain curses to identify who these things affect today. So you can see who the contract made with, because like you said, if you signed a contract for the Lakers, that's your contract. It ain't for everybody else, right? That's for you. All right, read.
Verse 28, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness.
So now let's go into this. Let's dig into that a little bit. God said he will smite the children of Israel with blindness and astonishment of heart. Madness and blindness, meaning like mental issues. Blindness, not meaning that they can't literally see, but it says you shall grope at noonday like the blind grope at darkness. So think about that. A blind man in the dark. Right. You already blind. But now what's the darkness then?
They're basically like saying you just be lost even though the sun outside.
Even though there's places, there's truth and light all around you, but you groping at everything and can't seem to find it.
Right.
A lot of people grope at Islam, all type of Moorish signs, different religions, different any kind of aspect of life that they can try to reach and latch on to. But God said one thing will happen. Verse 20.
Verse 20, the Lord shall send upon thee cursings, vexations, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do.
So even though they're trying to reach for something to benefit us, we try to reach on the things, or the children of Israel will be trying to reach on the thing to benefit them. It said the Lord will do what?
The Lord shall send upon thee cursings, vexations, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do.
Because they didn't keep the commandments. So anything they try to do, he's like, no, you're not going to benefit from it. You're going to be trying. I'm going to keep kicking the ladder away from upon you. God saying he's going to do that to his people. But the purpose of them doing it was because what? I wanted to make sure you followed. Remember? Exactly. Verse 47.
Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
This is the reason why. He said because you didn't serve him and be happy to do it, you would now have to serve your enemies, you children of Israel. Now, it's about to get specific now. Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So God is the one definitely doing it. Read.
In hunger.
In hunger.
And in thirst.
And in thirst.
And in nakedness.
So now let's unpack that. When the children of Israel would be hungry, they would have to serve their enemies. Meaning, food, resources for food. To get that thing, they wouldn't be able to get it from their own people or from God's blessings. They'd have to go to their enemies to get that thing. Who controls the food distribution in any country where these people right here are located at? Food distribution. Arabs or white people or Asians or some other nation outside of anybody but black people. Read it again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst.
Water distribution. What about that, sir? Where do water come from that we get? Whether it's bottled water, tap water, anything. Who controls it? Bill Gates. Is he one of us? He one of the Israelites? No? Oh, okay. Read on.
And in nakedness.
And the clothing. Look at our ancestors here. Some of our forefathers, this is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, went through things like this right here. Picking cotton in these fields, doing all this work. But now the clothing on our back. Did we get that for free? Did we get credit on that for what our ancestors did? Nah. And what? Read on.
And in want of all things.
Now, in the lack of anything that the children of Israel would need, they would have to serve their enemies. It means all things. Education. That means education, religion, anything. Just think of something that you don't have to go to another nation of people to get. Everything. If that's not a blessing. And they don't, you're right. Absolutely. You say that again, bro. Even when you can go get something from a black person, you don't go get it because it seems like the white man ice must be colder than yours or something. But that's a reality. That's not fake. That's reality though, right? That's reality. Now, read.
And
hold on, read from the top again.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst.
Enemies said we had to serve in hunger, thirst,
and in nakedness,
clothing,
and in want of all things.
Anything that you people could think about that they needed.
And he,
the enemy that God sent against the people for not listening to him, would do what?
Shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Do me a favor, you got a phone, I know you got it. Google that. Y-O-K-E of iron, yoke of iron. That's exactly what it is. It said the enemy that God said that he would send against you would do this, would put a yoke of iron upon the children of Israel's neck until he have destroyed them. Now, what is a destroyed state? If I ask you, sir, for instance, what's your nationality?
Black.
You see the problem?
Judah.
We already talked about that.
Did you see the problem, young lady? You see? Right. Okay. Black. Where is the land of black? I can go to China and I see Chinese people. I can go to Japan and see Japanese. I can go to India and see Indians. I can go all these different countries where people have a land mass attached to their name. Black. And I'm not saying nothing wrong. That's a common answer. But that's what we've been destroyed to the point to where that's what we say we are.
Yeah.
Or we say more. Where's the land of more then? Oh, okay, where's it? See, it's a problem. There is a land of Israel.
Right.
Nah. Even the people that's there getting skin cancer at an astronomical rate because they don't belong in that land. They were placed there in 1948 by a treaty. Not the way the Bible said that his people would be placed back in their land by the hand of him, but a treaty. God said, I'm going to take my people and put them back. This is what the Bible says. That ain't what's being taught though. Now, here's Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64.
Bring it up.
Here's another curse. These are all curses that are signs. So you can look at these curses and identify who these things are happening to, who these things happen to, and say, that's a sign of who those people are. Because they've been destroyed to the point to where their history has been erased, their nationality has been erased, their language has been taken from them, and they just going off of what we tell them now. They say they black. They say they Indian. Indios means what? That's a Spanish word meaning servant. That ain't who he found. Christopher Columbus' own memoirs, I got the books on it saying he read this Bible to figure out that there was people on the other side of the world. In the book of 1st and 2nd Esdras, he read that. And I can read that later, and I got the book I think in my backpack and coincide the same history. Deuteronomy 28 and 64. Listen to this, John. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there,
when they get scattered to these other lands, there,
thou shalt serve other gods.
They shall serve other gods.
which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Which neither them at that time or their forefathers even knew about the gods that they were going to be serving in these other lands. Read.
Even wood and stone.
These would be idols made of wood and stone. So now let's go into some history of the Israelites, or these people that some of these curses are fitting today. Let's think about ourselves for a second. Excuse me, we're gonna slide over here. I want you to look at this sign right here. All right, this sign has images here of what the world thinks right now is Jesus Christ. Now, why does the world think this is Jesus Christ? During the 1400s and the Renaissance, yes. Called iconoclast. That's an iconoclast. That's what that's called. Yeah, in Russia and in Romania, in the Varanay monasteries, all over these different ancient places in Europe. Even if you go to right now Amsterdam, right? You see the heads of the quote unquote Moor heads all over the buildings and stuff like that. The black people that ruled during those times, with the real images of the apostles, the disciples, Jesus, the Paul, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all this. But now this is the image of the beast. This is the original. This is the change up. This is what they was doing. It's called iconoclasm. The Bible says that Jesus Christ, it looks more similar to this right here. A black man with white, woolly textured hair. Their skin looked like it was brass burned in a furnace.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with